it's a good one. Yeah, it's a freaking giant. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I missed her with the net. Oh my God, this is a giant. This might be my personal best. Oh my God. Come here. Oh my God, she just popped off. Y'all, this might be my personal best. So spring has officially sprung. Buds are budding, the birds are chirping, turtles are basking out on logs and stuff. It is officially spring, and right now I'm out on the lake, as you can probably tell. It's a beautiful day out here. I'm actually just finishing up my third day out here this week. I got some awesome footage for y'all, and basically what I decided to do in this video is, instead of making 3 different videos of the last 3 days that I was out here, I decided to make one video with all the footage. Basically, I got into this pattern last week and I kind of ran with it throughout the rest of the week, and I've gotten a lot of great footage. I've caught some big fish. This is going to be what I'm going to call the Falls Lake Spring Smackdown, and I'm really excited to share with y'all. Sit back, relax, get some popcorn, buckle up, because it's going to be a little bit of a longer one. I hope you guys are ready. Stay tuned, and I hope you guys enjoy today's video. So day one started a little bit different. I didn't expect to make a video this day, but I still had the cameras rolling just in case. And I was actually out on the lake with a couple of my buddies, Brooks and Owen, and we were just kind of fishing for fun. I wasn't really expecting to make a video out of this day. So we started off fishing on some more main lake stuff because I was onto a little bit of a pattern in my last video. Me and Steve were fishing in a tournament and we caught some good fish, and we could tell that these fish were staged up on some of these main lake points and secondary points, getting ready to move up into the shallows to spawn. And so that's what we started off with, just to see if they're still there, and we quickly kind of figured out that there weren't really too many big ones there. We still caught some fish, but I figured that some of these bigger ones are going to be starting to move back into these creeks. So we made our way back into this creek and I picked up a jig, and within the first couple minutes of fishing it, this is what happened. Yeah. Well, then record on this one. That's what I'm talking about, a little jig fish. I set the hook, she ran so hard. Like a 7-pounder. Dude, I thought I had like a carp or something. Yeah, she just came and picked it up right off the rocks. God, I feel bad. It's always after Owen leaves. Alright, another one. That's the first one on a jig probably all year for me, at least for falls. Nice healthy fish. Sweet. Just on a little kind of PB&J colored jig, a little bit of a darker trailer on it.
I saw it splash as soon as you set the hook on it.
Oh my god, dude. That's a pig. Are you ready? That's a pig. Oh my god. That was probably like a 5 or 6.
There we go.
That, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. I was literally like about to turn around and start fishing down the other way.
Look at her tail. She's been beaten.
Dude, she has eggs on her. She has eggs on the tail. Look at that, y'all. Eggs on the tail coming out of her. She was on her bed. That's a nice fish. I'm just gonna get a weight on her real quick and then quickly get her back in. I'll call it 5'7", 5'8". Yeah, 5'8", 5 pounds, 8 ounces. Nice fish. Get a picture of the eggs on the tail real quick.
Oh my god, I didn't realize it was like that.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
All right, y'all, put her back in. So sick. There she goes. Smaller guy, but first bite in like an hour, probably 2 hours. Of course, this GoPro isn't recording again. There he goes. Yeah, I've hooked into ones that are like 7 pounds probably. Oh, dang. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, better than I thought. Yes! Oh my god!
That's a 7 pounder.
Dude, I think it's like a 6, but I don't know, dude.
7. That's giant.
She got eggs? Nope. God, what a way to end the day. It's like, let's hit this cove real quick. Oh my goodness. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. I think she'll go 6, dude. But yeah, that's a nice one. 6 pounds, 2 ounces. It's end of the day. Probably my last one, but who knows. Might be some more in here, but that's sick. It goes 6 yonder. One last head shake to say goodbye. Go, everyone, guys. That's a good one. Get in here. Oh, that's what I'm talking about, y'all. Probably a nice, 2 or 3 pounder. Can't really tell if it's a male or a female, but regardless, it's a good way to start the day. On the jig, felt good. There she goes. Fish. Oh, I thought it was a giant at first, y'all. Here, buddy. Oh my god, it scared me. Felt like when I set the hook, it felt like it was just straight dead weight. I was like, oh my god, this is a giant. I think it was stuck behind a limb or something and came out. But another one on the jig up shallow. Probably a little buck waiting for a female. There he goes. There's a fish, finally. A decent one. buddy. Oh my goodness, been looking for you for hours, y'all. Jeez, I don't know what's going on. I can't seem to get any bigger ones, but another nice one. Looks like a little buck moving up. You really see that line that goes right there. That's their lateral line. That's how they sense things. Really cool. You can just see it going down his body. Really pale fish, close to the back of a creek. Nice. Let's get him back in the water. There he goes. Yeah, that was like second or third cast after I got back here. Good sign. Hopefully there's some bigger females up and around them. I just want one good one today. I feel like all I've got is a bunch of little bucks and that one decent one. I think it was the first one on the jig. I thought I was gonna do good, but compared to the other day when I was out here, I was catching a few good ones on the jig, 5 and 6 pounders. I'm gonna keep at it. I know the big ones are up here somewhere. Water's 62 degrees. They should be up here. They should be back here and really starting to get on beds. I'm worried that they might already be on beds and just be, you know, not biting anything. But I've been getting a lot of bites that have been, is like I'll cast up near the bank and I'll get a bite and watch my line move off and just not eating it all the way. They just had it like halfway in their mouth, just pulling it off, not trying to actually eat it, but just move it away from the bed. If I don't get any more big bites in the next like couple hours though, I might move back up towards the main lake and see if I can find any fish that are still starting to move up shallow. Yeah, I guess we'll just see what happens, y'all. But hopefully we can get some bigger bites here in a little bit. So stay tuned. Another one. About the same size. Hey, that's a good sign though. 2 bites in the last, that was like literally right after, like 10 seconds after I just started recording again after that last fish. Another little guy, but damn, it feels good to get back onto a decent little bite. A little more consistent. He fought hard, nice and fat guy. Again, little buck. There he goes. I guess we'll have to see. I might move back out a little bit deeper maybe. I keep getting little bites, but hey, I'm on to a decent little bite now. I think that's another one. Another one. Right after. Oh, that's a better one actually. Yeah, that's a better one. Get in here. That's what I'm talking about, like a 4 or 5. There's the females. No, that's probably like a 3 or 4 actually, but yeah, that's a better fish. That's what I'm talking about. All right, look at that right there. Probably like a 3 or 4 pounder. Nice fish right there though. Look at that black dot on the top of her head. Isn't that cool? I think that's sick. Here's a nice fish. Could be a buck, could be a female, but look at her tail. They're definitely starting to make those beds. Things are happening. That's what I'm talking about. There's a better one. Boom. Okay. All right, we're on to something. All right, let's see if we can get some more. Thank you, darling. There she goes. How the heck? I literally just went like 3 hours without a single bite. And I caught 3, right? Yeah, 3 back to back to back. I've been looking at this creek, this specific spot that I'm in right now. I've been looking at it all day and I'm like, I don't know, do I want to come all the way up here? Because it's a little bit further away from where I was. And I finally was just like, all right, let's just do it, because I wasn't getting bit anywhere else. Could be like a little window. Maybe they're just feeding up right now, but I'm not complaining. This is awesome. Back on to a little bite. So we'll see if we can get some more, y'all. Stay tuned. Hopefully there's some bigger ones back here. There's another one. Oh, see what I'm talking about? These little guys, they grab it and they start to pull it off the bed. Let's see if he'll come back for it, if he actually is on the bed or not. Yeah, that was 110% of fish. It wasn't me getting caught up in a limb and it moving a little bit. Like, that was 100% fish. So it must be little guys pulling it off the bed, protecting the eggs, even though the female's probably 3 times the size. Look at this. Oh, it's a good one. Oh, I think it's a good one. Yeah, it's a freaking giant. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's a good one. Yeah, it's a good one. We found her. Oh my goodness, y'all. Oh my goodness, I missed her with the net. Please don't break me off. Please don't break me off. Oh my God, this is a giant. This might be my personal best. Oh my God. Come here. Oh my God, she just popped off. Oh my God. Oh. Y'all, this might be my personal best. That's at least 7. That's a big one. That's a big bug-eyed girl right there. Oh my goodness. That's a big fish. Oh my goodness, I'm shaking, y'all. We found it. We found her. I've been looking for that fish all day. Ah, that's a big one. She's probably pushing 7. Maybe even more, I don't know. That was crazy. I like threw it up there. I was waiting. I was like, I'm not feeling bottom. And then I started reeling down. I realized that my line was moving. I was like, oh, it's a little buck again. So I set the hook thinking that it was going to be that little buck. And I set it and it was just like dead weight. And I was like, oh my God, I think it's bigger. And then it started running at me. And I was like, wait, maybe it is just a little buck or something. Because I've had them wrap around limbs and stuff. And it just feels like a big one. And that one came under the boat. I thought I was going to lose her. I freaking like stabbed her in the head with the net, trying to get her in the net. She popped off in the net, y'all. That's a big fish. That is a big fish. I think she's pushing 7 for sure. She's gonna go 7, 7-11. I'm calling it 7-11. Almost an 8-pounder, y'all. I'm so close to breaking 8. Second 7-pounder of the season. So close to 8, y'all. A couple more ounces on her, she would have been it. One more bluegill, she could have been it. But I'm not complaining. That was unexpected, and I'm very, very, very fortunate that I just caught her. So let's get a release on this big girl. Here she is, almost an 8-pounder. Right there, y'all. Look at that. That is a nice fish. That is so close to my personal best. Look at her big, beautiful bug eyes. Look at that fish, y'all. Insane. There she goes.
What's up and good morning, y'all. This is day 3 out here on Falls Lake. Yesterday it was really rainy, so I didn't get out here, but today it's not supposed to rain, but you can hear that. If you can tell, it's really windy out. It's gonna be blowing pretty hard, but I'm not too worried about it because we're probably gonna be fishing up shallow throughout the day. A different part of the lake, I put it on a different ramp this morning. I'm gonna see if I can continue that same pattern that I've been on with throwing the jig up shallow, seeing if I can get a few bites doing that up here. I'm in a good looking area, gonna flip the jig up shallow, and we're gonna see if we can get some. Y'all stay tuned, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Fish, that's a good one. Oh yeah, that's a good one. She's up shallow. That's a good one. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. What a way to start the morning. Look at that, probably a 5. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. On that jig. Boom! What a great way to start the morning. Hey, what are you doing? Alright, I don't know if this GoPro glitched or not, but probably a 4-pounder. I said 5, but I'm guessing like 4.5 pounder. Nice fish though on that jig again. She goes, probably on a bed, up real shallow.
That was so sick. Never had that happen, y'all. That was so sick. He ate it off the limb. He ate it off the limb. Oh, I hope you guys could see that. Am I not recording? Okay, I'm recording on this one. Not on this back one. That was freaking sick. So I was I pitched it up on into this tree, and it was over a limb, and I was like jiggling it, trying to get it off, and I see a flash under it. I see my jig disappear, and I'm like, no way. And so I think he helped get it off the limb, and I just see my line coming out this way, and I was like, oh no way. I set the hook. Nice little fish. I think it was a little buck. I'm gonna flip back in there, see if there's a big female behind it. But nice little fish, man. That was so sick. Thanks, buddy. Go make some babies. There he goes. Boom, 2 fish already. We're not even an hour in, y'all. What a great way to start the day. Oh, not a limb. Oh, no. Got the fish. I think it's a good one. A decent one. Yeah, pretty decent one. Oh, let's go. That is what I'm talking about. Let's go. Numero tres. Right here in this laydown. Look at that. That's how you want them hooked right there. That is in her skull just about. Right in the top of the mouth. She was not coming out. I could have flipped her so easy, but another one on that jig. Boom. 3rd one of the day. Probably about an hour and a half in on this laydown. I thought I was on a limb. I like picked it up. I was like, oh, okay, that was on a limb. And I thought I saw my line moving, and it just like didn't feel like a fish. And I reeled back down. Like I thought my line went slack, and then I thought I was falling back down. Realized there was a fish on it. So nice one. Another probably like 2-3 pounder. There she goes. Same thing, off in a pocket. That one was a little bit deeper. I'm thinking that one was probably starting to move up, stopping at this lay down. She'll probably make her way up into this area back here to actually make a bed. If it was a male or a female, I couldn't really tell. So that's something you should probably think about as well, because the ones that are up shallow doesn't mean that they're only up shallow. You know, there's still fish that are out in the main lake that are just moving up to points. There's still going to be fish that are moving into little places to stop in between the points in the main lake and the pockets and stuff. From what I found, obviously I think the bigger ones are up shallow, but it doesn't mean you can't catch big ones out in the main lake. It doesn't mean you can't catch them out in pieces of structure and stuff like that. I'm about to put a new trailer on, probably retie. Something I've been doing is retying between fishes. About 3 fish in with the last time I retied, so I'm probably going to retie, put on a new trailer too, because this trailer's getting ripped up. Something to think about is to retie pretty frequently, because even though you might not feel nicks in your line, the knot could be damaged, it could be weak, and so you always want to make sure you have a fresh, good knot. If you think you tied it bad, don't be afraid to cut it off and retie again. We'll probably talk about the rod and setup that I've been using for these jigs here in a little bit. Let's see if we can get some more, y'all. Stay tuned. Y'all see that? That was rough. Yeah, that's probably 5. That's what I'm talking about right there. Look at that. Look at that jig. Perfect spot too. Gotta love that. Same pocket as earlier. I don't know if I got all that because my GoPro kind of, it looked like it glitched. I don't know if I got it or not, but I came back to the same spot from this morning when I first got here and caught those 2 fish. They're sick. All right, let's get a weight on this fish. Let me guess 5.5. Yeah, like, nah, I'm safe
4.5 to 5. I'm gonna say 5. 5 pounds, 8 ounces. Damn, bigger than I thought. That's a nice fish right there. All right, let's go ahead and get her back in. All right, big girl, 5 pounder going back in. Might be the last one of the day. I guess we'll have to see. There she goes. Sick. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. Alright y'all, so that about wraps up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a fun few days of fishing. Real quick before I ended today's video, I just wanted to go over a few things. First thing, I just wanted to apologize for the GoPro footage. It really makes me mad when the GoPros don't work, and a lot of times, I mean, you saw for a lot of the footage, I didn't have chest mount footage. I don't know what's going on. I've been trying to fix it, and for a while I had it fixed pretty well and I didn't really have that problem, but for whatever reason it's starting to act up again. I thought it had something to do with my SD cards, so I got the right SD cards and it started working fine, and then I don't know, sometimes I'll just get an SD card error. Sometimes it'll look like I actually got the clips, and then I'll go to save it and it just won't be there, or it looks like it's like glitching or something. I don't know, maybe I need to update them or something, but I just wanted to apologize real quick for the GoPro audio. And so yeah, besides that part, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a really fun little pattern that I got onto, and that should hold pretty well through the next couple weeks. So I've been dying to get back out and fish more, but I've been trying to get this video finished because I've been editing it for like a week and a half, and I filmed it probably 3 weeks ago now. So I know this video was very long, but to thank everyone who stuck around and stayed to the end, I just wanted to talk about the rod and reel setup that I was using and how I was fishing these jigs, and not really the specific jig brand that I was using, but what I look for in a jig whenever I'm buying them. So real quick, the rod and reel setup was a 7'6" medium heavy fast action rod with a 7/3-1 gear ratio reel and 18-pound fluorocarbon. Now I honestly think I should have bumped this up to a heavier rod, and this one did get the job done, but there's times where I really wished I had a heavier rod, a faster reel, and heavier line. I luckily never broke off on anything, so the line wasn't too big of a deal, but I was, like I said, I was retying a lot. So yeah, this rod, it got the job done, and I'm sure a lot of you guys probably have a setup similar to this, like you don't need a 7'6", but like a 7-foot medium heavy fast action with like a 7/3-1 gear ratio reel should be a pretty common setup that I feel like a lot of people will have in their arsenal. But I would say bump up to a heavier rod, a faster reel, and heavier line. What have really helped me out, especially with a faster reel, if I would have had, this one's an 8/3-1, if I would have had that over like a 7/3-1, I would have been able to catch up with those fish a lot quicker. And when you're fishing this kind of style where you're flipping up shallow, especially when they're on beds, if you're hooking big ones up shallow and they're like on beds and stuff, right after you hook them, they're almost always going to go deep. They're going to try to get into deeper water. They already don't feel that safe and that comfortable being up that shallow, but they got to be up there for the eggs and to guard the bed and stuff. But when you hook a big one, it's going to start to run and it's going to try to find deeper water, and most of the time your boat is going to be where that deeper water is, so it's going to come at you, and you're going to want a faster reel to pick up more line quicker. And I think going with the faster reel will definitely help. If 7/3-1 is the quickest you got, I mean, you saw it worked for me. You just got to be quicker, and you got to be ready to really reel down fast on them. You know, like a medium heavy, it worked, and it you know, it got the job done. But I was lucky enough to not be fishing in super heavy cover. There's a few fish that I caught in laydowns and stuff, but for the most part, most of these fish weren't in really thick cover. But say I had grass, or say I had really thick wood or something like that I had to get these fish out of quick, having a fast reel with a heavy rod and heavy line would have made a big difference. And I was using fluorocarbon. Like I said, I was using 18-pound fluorocarbon. I would suggest 20-pound fluorocarbon, maybe even up to 22 or 25-pound. Definitely bump up your line size, especially with flipping up shallow and possibly catching some big fish. You're going to want some heavier line. If you're fishing around a lot of grass, really thick wood or something, then probably go ahead and go to braid. I didn't, because I like fluorocarbon a little bit more, but if I was up in heavier cover, if I was fishing around grass or something, like 50-pound to 65-pound braid was what I would have used. And another thing you need to think about if you do bump up your stuff is the jig that you're fishing. You don't want to have all this heavy stuff, you know, 20-pound fluoro or 50-pound braid, heavy rod, fast gear ratio reel, if you're not using the right jig. And the jig you want is
I don't really have a specific brand that I like yet. I haven't really found anything that I'm very into, but what I look for when I'm looking for jigs is something with a nice stout hook, especially for flipping jigs. That 7'6" medium heavy, that's kind of more of like my football head jig rod, my Carolina rig rod, and I just went ahead and started using it for flipping, but I definitely suggest going with a little bit heavier rod. But with flipping jigs, especially when you're up in heavy cover and stuff, you want a nice stout hook that's not going to bend on you if you do hook a big one and you need to get it out of that cover quick. Definitely go up to a big, thick, like the thickest jig hook that you can possibly find, along with a nice heavy weed guard, especially when you're fishing around laydowns and a lot of wood and stuff. Even though that they come with weed guards on them, a lot of them just don't work that well. They're not really meant for getting out of thick cover like that. So I'll throw up some B-roll of the jig that I was using. It's kind of just like your average flipping jig. Natural colors was what was working for me, using a PB&J jig or maybe even a green pumpkin jig. So hopefully you guys can get out there, replicate that for yourselves. Hope this video helped you out. Hope it inspired you to get out there. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy today's video, be sure to leave a like if you want to see more. Make sure to subscribe. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.